All right, how's everyone doing? Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I'm going to talk about today is getting in touch with your feelings. I know that kind of sounds corny coming from me, uh, or just in a podcast in general or a video, but I definitely think this is one thing I think a lot of men kind of fluff off and pretend a lot of times that their feelings don't mean that much to them, or they can care less about feelings, right? I think we hear that a lot. I think I grew up with that mentality too, and I used to even have a lot of discussions with family members and friends and everybody, like pretending things didn't bother me when they did, pretending like if you're in a relationship and you get hurt, it didn't matter. Also kind of maybe suppressing things, or even kind of on the flip side, like when it comes to feelings, not always being in control, right? You could, like, when it came to arguing or getting in fights, and kind of just blowing it off a lot of times on how I truly felt. And I think a lot of men go through that as well. And the reason I wanted to do a podcast on this in a video is because years ago I used to work out at this World Gym, and there was a trainer there. And I might have talked about this once on a podcast long ago, not sure, but I don't think so, actually. But he kept, when he would work with his guys, I guess when working out, he'd always be asking them, hey, how do you feel? And I was like, this guy's a weirdo. How do you feel? Just lift the weights. I'd be looking at him like he's telling his clients this. How do you feel? How do you feel? After every set, during the sets, after the workout, that was like his big thing. I was like, this guy's a pain in the ass. He's always asking how they feel. But what I started to learn was like, yeah, how do I feel when I was working out, right? Do I feel like, what am I getting out of this? Am I getting the most out of this? Am I feeling like, do I have a lot of energy? Do I feel like I'm going to get a great workout? Am I hitting the certain muscle area that I'm focusing in on? All these things. But then I started to just, because he said it so much, I just kind of always started to think in my head, how do I feel? Like, I'll get in a discussion right now and it's aggravating. Man, I'm feeling very angry. I became self-aware, like, wow, I don't like the way this discussion went. I may even went on a date or went somewhere and something happened. I'm like, hey, I'm having fun here. I really enjoy doing this with this person. I may be anywhere, doing anything, and I kept paying attention to really how I felt at that point in time, because up until then, I think I just ignored it. I didn't even care how I felt. I just kind of either wanted to get things over with or just not give a shit one way or another. It was either kind of extreme. It was like either I was really angry about somebody or something, or I was just having a good time. But I wasn't paying attention to really like what my feelings were and where my energy was leading me. And I started then, this sounds crazy, I close my eyes a lot, even when I talk. But I started to close my eyes and again ask myself, how do you feel? Like, what are you truly feeling right now? Do you feel like, your energy's leading you this way, or is it leading you that way? Are you kind of tired? Do you feel like doing this with this person today, or do you not? Do you feel like texting or calling somebody? Do you feel like doing this with work? Now, let me say this. A lot of times we do have to put our feelings aside, obviously, right? To get shit done. You can't bring all your emotions all the time into play. Like, you can't be like, oh, I got to get this done today. No, I don't feel like it. I feel like I was just laying around. I don't have time for that. Or I'm exhausted all the time, or I'm this or that. Believe me, that's not what I'm trying to say. There's a fine line there between you taking your emotions and kind of using them to your advantage, I believe, and then also taking them and working them to your disadvantage. But again, a lot of this comes down to feelings. And especially when you're in relationships, I think a lot of men and women, obviously, but I'm just speaking for men, get hurt a lot of times. And they pretend they're not hurt. And this doesn't even mean somebody, as far as like a husband, wife, girlfriend, or any of that, boyfriend. Friends may hurt your feelings, and you kind of pretend they don't. They may say things, they may do things that really aggravate you. Family members, friends, a lot of things may go on throughout your life where you're hurt, right? You may have to address these things because they may be holding you back a lot more than you think. People may be saying things to you now or in the past that you didn't like, and you carry that with you forever. It may be time to, one, confront that. Was it true or not? And the other thing is, maybe you have to confront them. Maybe you need some closure there. But please be in touch with your feelings. I know that sounds like a corny card thing that you'd get at Hallmark, but I think a lot of guys really ignore it. And I am going to wrap it up with this. Like, the more you're in touch with how you feel regarding certain things, the more you're going to really enjoy things. I think a lot of times that, like, you sit back and go, I'm maybe you go on a trip or something, or maybe you're doing whatever the hell you're doing. You're not a lot of times, realizing how much enjoyment there is. You're just kind of going through the motions, and you're just too busy. But stopping and saying, wow, I feel amazing right now. This is something I've always wanted to do, or I love going on this journey. I love what I created here. I love that I'm, helping somebody else. I feel good. This is what, I love to do. Those type of things. So really pay attention to those things, all right? All right, you got any questions or comments, you can hit me up at richcelenza.com. I'm also at Mastering Self-Confidence, where I try to help men with their confidence regarding many things: relationship advice, fitness, health, wardrobe. And I will wrap it up with this. A lot of times people underestimate the way they look, has such a profound effect on how they feel. And I don't always mean like looking good. Like, we have good days and bad days a lot of times, or good days with your hair and bad days or whatever. Certain days you just look maybe better than others or whatever. But a lot of your wardrobe, the way you dress and your accessories, is going to have a huge impact sometimes on how you feel throughout the day. Are your clothes inspiring you? Are the colors you're wearing making you, feel better? Do the clothes, how do they look on you? You may have been through this before. Those are huge components, like, throughout your life, that you may not even realize. It could even be, you don't like your hair color, you don't like the certain style, your glasses, just by changing your shoes, all these things, man. Pay attention. Those are all things that are going to make you feel different about yourself. And a lot of times what you want to do is really do the things that empower you the most. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Take care.